So I will put this together later, but tell me about your cars. How long have you been collecting?
I went to my first race at Nashville back in the 80s when they ran Music City 420, and I went into the pits and got some autographs on the back of a check. I didn't even have a piece of paper to get autographs on, so I tore a check out of the checkbook and said, "Would you sign this?" And Darrell Waltrip signed it. I think Richard Petty, I don't know who all, there were several of them. But I've been collecting for at least 40 and some of it 50 years. Back in the days when it was only on the radio, you couldn't watch but 2 races a year, Talladega and Daytona. So I started collecting, and it's just gotten out of hand, as you can see from this room. This is a 20 by 30 room, and it's cram full with 74 plastic model kits,
Oh, wow.
trailer truck kits,
T-shirts.
a few shirts, and
This is amazing.
there's 164th, 135th. I guess these are 164th, these are 124th. All different sizes. Somebody gave me the NASCAR helmet, Coco,
Ooh,
for Christmas one year. I don't even know when.
that's pretty cool. You have the Coke bottles. I have the Coke bottles and the Pepsi
Yeah.
bottle and the Sun Drop.
Over here, I've got every program that I ever went to at the racetracks. The oldest one is the 22nd Annual Firecracker 400. I don't even know what year it was, like 82 or 83. And one of these, Richard Petty won his 200th victory. And this is him going by with the Air
With
Force
Ronald,
One.
was it Ronald Reagan?
Going
And Air
behind
Force
it. Yeah, Ronald
I
Reagan
love
was
that
there
picture.
that day.
That's an amazing picture. So you have newspapers.
Yes, I
USA
got so
Day,
many when Dale
Atlanta.
died. I was there the day he died at Daytona. That was a horrible trip home.
Mm-hmm.
We cried all the way home.
I bet. Yeah, I have some of those newspapers too. Wow.
Posters that people have given me over years and years. They knew that I was a collector, so
Did you buy all the sponsorship stuff? Like, I see some tubes over there. I don't know if they're posters or.
people gave me stuff like that, like the
I see
the
you.
Hoosier racing tires.
Uh-huh.
Somebody that still goes to Nashville got that down there and gave it to me.
Nice. I see you have mayonnaise over there.
Yep. And then
Hellman's.
the Red Bull, No Bull was when they did the Winston Million. I think Bill Elliott won that one year.
Middle Tennessee Racing News. I know that paper.
Got 6 stand-ups.
Where'd you get all this stuff?
Just, I couldn't even tell you, Angie. Just people ask me if I want something. Sometimes I'd find it for sale.
All
And if I thought I could, afford it, I would buy it.
So tell me about this Hellman's mayonnaise here.
Oh, over there?
Yeah,
That's an empty bottle of Dale Earnhardt Jr. mayonnaise.
that's funny.
I was a
At least it's not full. I question how good the Pepsi and Coke are at this point.
Oh, I wouldn't think they'd be good at all.
I don't think so either.
I doubt it.
So do you know how many items you have total?
I don't. I really don't. Also, back in the day, these are
Oh,
TV
yes.
guides,
Uh-huh.
and they came out with racers.
Right.
That's been it. Edwards.
I have that one right
Little
there.
boy
with
Gordon.
Got that with Gordon.
There's
Ooh, damn.
there's your boy Dale Earnhardt.
That's nice.
Every time they came out was when I saved it.
All right, I know that feeling.
Like I said, books,
Oh, you
all
got-
kinds of books from, people that wrote Liz Allison.
Mm-hmm.
She's a great writer. I've read 3 of her books.
I had the Terry Labonte cornflakes for a while.
That one down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what I did with them, but they may have gone away.
right.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
of
look at
course
the
I got
hats.
hats.
You got Darrell Waltrip's autograph there. I see.
Yep. And Ricky Rudd, he signed one of them. He said, "I can beat him."
That's funny.
Started Marlin autographed that one. I think that's who it was.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Wow, it's just amazing. So what, you said you had numbers. Give me some numbers.
I've got 114 164 size cars, 15 144 scale cars, 19 124th scale cars, 4 banners, 5 NASCAR trailer trucks, 4 double models, 73 NASCAR models, 5 NASCAR trailer trucks. It just goes on and on and on.
Do you still go to the races?
I do. I'm going to the Nashville Speedway April 30th.
What's going on then?
They're having this, I think it's the Alley 400.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That, I knew that. It's June.
Is it June?
June 26th, maybe.
That's
Well, my
it.
husband goes to the Cup races.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to that. Me and Martha are. Got seats right on the finish line.
Nice. My husband's is just a little bit before that.
Is that right?
Yeah, I got him the first year. So we get to renew our seats every year.
We went last year, and it started lightning.
Mm-hmm.
They made us go under the racetrack.
All right.
30 minutes later, we came back, got in our seats. 30 minutes later, it starts raining again. About lap 66, we're thinking they'll never get this back in. We'll be
Right.
running it tomorrow. So we go home, turn the TV on to find out when tomorrow it's going to run,
Right.
and they'd gone back to racing
Of course.
after we paid
Yeah.
money for their tickets.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you got to stick around. I've been there. I've almost passed out at Talladega because in the pits you have to wear long pants and stuff. And I wore black because I was sitting, I was sitting on the
wow.
benches and I had media passes. So it was fun, but it got so hot. I swore I'd never go to Talladega in July again.
I heard that. I've been to Talladega 2 or 3 times, Daytona 3 times. The ham bags, those are the ham bags from where Dale Earnhardt's mom and pops sponsored his car for so long.
Right. So what got you started in this?
What got me started in
Yes.
it? I loved racing. I went to my first race in 1972. We were so poor we couldn't even go in.
Right.
We stood at a fence and we could hear them going by. And I was hooked. I started listening on the radio. Every weekend I was working in a market. I turned the radio on and listened to the race while the customers coming in and out.
Right.
And then once they started doing them on TV, I never missed a race.
Wow.
If I did, I taped it and was watching
Right.
it when it came.
Well, what do you like the best about it? I mean, do you like the wrecks or the people or the personalities?
It's a lot of all of it. I don't mind the wrecks. One time at Talladega, there was a 17-car pileup. We were on the front straightaway.
Usually.
It happened on the back straightaway. All we saw was 17 wreckers hauling 17 wrecked cars around. That was the year Kyle Petty broke his leg.
I got to see, and I don't want to say got to see, I did PR for the Wives Cruise, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
And I had the Rainbow Warriors, and I think it was Todd Bodine, Bodine, a bunch of Kyle Petty.
yeah.
And I got to, well, I hate to say it like that. I saw Kenny Schrader, barrel roll. On the back, it was on the back. I was on the front.
Wow. I
But
remember
that was. I had a camera, but I was just putting it up and came to watch the rest of the race.
Right.
My mistake. So, it was fun. So, what do you hope to do with all this someday?
I'm looking to sell it.
Yeah.
I have been for about a year, but I hadn't had much fun with, much luck with Facebook Marketplace.
I understand. What about eBay? Have you tried that?
I haven't because they want like 20 or 30% of it.
Not true.
I don't want to give it away.
True. Maybe Etsy. You might try that.
What is it?
Etsy, ETSY. It started out for people that did crafts and stuff. That was
Never
fun.
heard of it.
But people are selling all kinds of weird things on it now.
Really?
Yeah, from what I can see.
Huh.
But
I might try it.
this is amazing.
Got all kinds of race car driver cards.
Oh yeah. I've got 5 or 6 books of those. I've got those Max card books.
Here's that check.
Oh.
Bobby Wayback, Mike Potter, Darrell Waltrip, Bobby Allison, Morgan Shepherd.
He's a nice guy.
I can't see that one, that's upside down.
Oh.
Anyway, I have,
Yes.
this is back in the 70s when they ran the Superbirds.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah, those Super B's were great cars.
there's, can't think of his name all of a sudden.
I can't either.
You know who it is. Anyway, Donnie Allison, Bobby Hamilton, people that have passed away.
Right.
It's so sad how these people, they risk their lives every day racing cars, And then something happens to me. There's my black and white of Tim Richmond autograph.
Wow.
My brother used to be in the business of going to places and selling stuff.
Uh-huh.
He got me this book.
Mm-hmm.
I only about 3 years ago put it in here, and then somebody said you should have left it all without putting it in the book.
Well, they say you shouldn't open them either, but I
already
I wanted to find out if I had the gold holograms
Isn't that
in
the
the Max
truth?
cards. You don't happen to have the 88 version, do you? The 88s. They were, at one time in the 90s, they were like $1,000 for the book. And like I said, nothing's worth anything anymore. Not what I paid for it, surely.
I
So
really don't know. I've got so many.
they're yellow, I think.
Are they?
Yeah. But I know the feeling. I have them. I've sold a couple things singly, but you'd have to sell it as a lot. I had that pillow too. That Jeff Gordon pillow.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just, who is that?
I had a Daryl too.
That's not
two
Jeff
Darryl
Gordon.
Waltrip pills. There they are.
Oh, yeah, it's Daryl Waltrip. I can't see it from here. I have a comic book too.
That's all full of books. My tickets everywhere. Every time I went to the race,
Mm-hmm.
I kept my ticket stubs, and they're in order by date.
Wow.
When I went, of course, like I said, I got the books. This may be it here. It's not even here. One of them. There they are.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. Did you ever go to the Speedway out in Smyrna?
Yes, I
James-
used to drive out there.
Oh, you
I
did?
only raced 3 races.
Why?
My car was kaput.
Oh.
I got a divorce. My father-in-law sold it for $20.
You didn't race against James Clymer, did you? The King?
I didn't race against him, but you ever heard of Red Britain?
No.
He shoved me out my first race. I qualified last. They inverted the field, so I started first. He was behind me. On the first turn, he shoved me out, went up on his hood, and then he backed off and let me fall down. My wife at the time thought I'd died.
Oh, well, I bet.
It was crazy. But I only raced 3 races, and I gave it up. Here's my Firecracker 400, where Richard won that race.
Right? I'm trying to.
Kept every ticket for every race I ever went to. There's the 420, 1983. Wow. That's 41 years ago.
Wow.
But I held on to them, try to keep them in order by when I go. Sometimes you have to do them over.
I had so many media passes. I don't know what I've ever done with anything.
Is that right?
I have a great picture of Gordon. This is crazy. It's of Gordon, and he's at Daytona in '95 at the July race, and he won. We were in Sterling Marlin's pit, but I was a Gordon fan at the time. And I got a picture of him high-fiving the crew members. He comes into victory lane. And I blew it up to a, what is it, like 11 by 14 or something. Took it on the cruise with me because the Rainbow Warriors, who was his team at the time, or
Right.
his crew, they were on the cruise with Ray
How about
Evernham.
that?
They left a spot for Gordon to sign, and I cannot get in touch with him.
Oh,
Of
no.
all the people I know, and all the MRN people, and the motor racing outreach and all that, I've got to get this thing signed. I mean, I don't want to sell it or
Daryl
anything.
Waltrip could get it done for you.
I've checked with Daryl, but I haven't heard anything back from him. So, if you've got any leads, so have you become friends with some of these people?
I'm sorry.
Have you become friends with some of these drivers?
I got Daryl's autograph 6 times.
There you go.
A clock sitting in the airport one day going to Las Vegas for the race. Him and Stevie are in there waiting to board. The plane's late. It got delayed. And I know he's beside himself. But I walked up and I said, could I get a picture of you and Stevie with myself? And he said, sure. And my wife got up and took the picture, and we still have it somewhere in all this stuff.
That's before selfies became a
Oh,
thing.
yeah. That was just a camera click.
Wow.
Then you had to take it. I got a picture of me with him when he drove the Pepsi Challenger, number 11. Him and Barbara Mandrell came to the Peterbilt place there on Haywood Lane. They landed her in the helicopter,
Wow.
but Daryl was already there.
Hmm.
And so I got a picture with his arm around my, and I had hair down to here. It's the craziest thing.
Oh, I like your pennants. So what did you like about racing? I mean, was it the speed? Because my husband raced a little bit.
The Richard Petty driving experience. My wife bought it for me for my birthday. When I got in that car and started at 700 horsepower and felt that rumble underneath my butt, I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. I'm serious. If I had the money, I'd build a race car and drive it today. And I'm 73 years old.
Mark and I went out, when he was city administrator, I went out to the super speedway.
Yeah.
And they had some local racers, Benny Hamlet and Ricky Haynes.
Yeah.
And they were driving the car. Well, I got in with Ricky. I think it was Ricky, yeah. And went around that track. Well, I swear he wasn't 2 inches from the wall. It was awesome, but the G-force and everything is like, and he wasn't going full speed.
I drove that one about 10 years ago, I guess. In the same situation. Once you crank that car, I never told them I had an artificial leg at either place.
Right.
I don't think they'd let me drive.
You don't think so?
But
Well,
back
maybe
then
not.
I wore long pants all the time. I didn't wear shorts.
Right.
And so I got in that car and I had asked him, I said, how much do I need to brake? He said, just when you come in the pits. I said, good deal.
Well,
So
did you go full throttle around the
I
corners?
went 124.3 on a 125 mile an hour track.
Wow.
The man that led it, you got to drive your own car. You had a lead man, and he says, if you get 3 or 4 car lengths behind me and stay there, I'll go as fast as you want to go. But if you fall back 6 to 8 car lengths, I'm backing off. He waved me off on about the 3rd trip around.
Wow. Now, where did you do that?
I did it at Orlando Speedway down in Florida. And it was a thrill. My wife told all the ladies around, said, if he gets killed out here, we're going to drag him to the interstate because my insurance won't pay for him.
So, what's your biggest thrill now?
Oh, I watched 2 nights, or this Sunday, I watched a race 0.001 thousandth of a second
yes.
for the winner. And everybody thought 17 had won it, but he didn't. Kyle Larson won it.
Right.
I love the races. I love the thrill of the victory. And like Keith Jackson used to say, the agony of defeat. I've seen a bunch of great guys come and go. I hated it when J.D. McDuffie got killed up in New York. So many good car drivers we've lost. Davey Allison and him and Neil Bonnet.
Kowicki and
Who?
Kowicki.
Yes,
Kowicki.
Alan Kowicki. All of them in just what seemed like crazy situations.
Did you see, and it was a couple of races ago, the kid that won, I couldn't tell you who it was, do the victory lap, the Kowicki victory lap?
No, probably Tyler Reddick maybe.
Maybe.
He's young.
It could be, but he did the Kowicki victory lap, and I haven't seen that in years. Because they used to do it
I
all the
remember
time.
he used to do that all the time.
Yeah, he used to do it all the time, so did everyone else. But so you want to sell this stuff, and you're on Marketplace. Is there anywhere else that you've thought about selling it?
Some people have recommended that I take it to the Nashville Fairgrounds and try to sell it, but how do you box all this up and have it out there to display? They can't see it all.
I would take pictures.
And I've been very careful not to give my address out because
Yes, exactly.
somebody break into it and take it away while I'm gone boating.
Right.
Couldn't have that.
Well, this is amazing stuff. Now, have you met any of the young drivers?
No, not personally.
Are you still getting pit passes anytime?
No.
That was the best.
Yes,
I haven't done that in
enjoyed
years.
It was so neat at Music City 420. When the race was over, you climbed down the stairs, across the track, and got to meet the guys and shake hands with them. It wasn't what it is today.
Right.
I think Rutherford County was in big error when they didn't let the Speedway come in Rutherford County.
I think about 10 years ago, they probably liked the idea, and now I
They
think
thought
about
it was-
that every time I drive by it.
They thought it was a redneck sport, but it's a multi-billion-dollar sport.
It has lost popularity, and I saw
It
that
has.
Gordon, maybe it's Dale Jr., said that the racing is going to go away in the future if NASCAR doesn't change its rules, because they've had a lot of controversial rule changes this year.
And they've done some silly things like doing a dirt track at Bristol.
That was crazy.
160,000 people used to go to that racetrack, and I've been there before. They go to see that bang up, smash up, fast racing. They don't go there to see mud flying everywhere. It just ain't NASCAR.
I can appreciate the fact that the teams have to have millions, if not billions, like Hendricks, to race, and they don't want to wreck. But you can't tell me that a lot of the fans, if not all of them, go to just watch them race.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, when I did some stuff with Winston Cup Scene, for some photography, and they told me no less than 3 cars on the track is what you're supposed to take. We don't want 2 cars.
Huh.
So, and wrecks are a plus.
Oh yeah, that's what
So-
a lot of people go to see the wrecks. It's a great, it's
No,
a
it's a
great
great
sport.
photo.
The saddest part, there's Bristol seating 160,000, and I bet the last race they didn't have 120,000.
Yeah,
It
it's all the
breaks my
empty
heart.
seats.
But when Dale Earnhardt Sr. passed away, that was 30% of the crowd. that
Right.
They lost just like that.
Yeah, I remember them holding up the 3, and what's his name? Kevin Harvick winning the third
Yes,
race.
in the 29 car the first time.
That was a big deal.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that was a real big deal. So,
Yeah.
and they stopped doing that. I guess the time moves on, but
And I loved Junior. I loved watching him.
I
And
remember
guess
him
he-
in Nashville.
Huh?
I remember him racing in Nashville.
Junior?
Yeah, I was in the pits. I've got pictures of him with Kelly, because Kelly raced
How
too.
about that?
And he's got big, fluffy hair. I mean, it's not really an afro, but it's big hair.
Huh.
And then he went, he went to whatever, and he went to Cup, and that's the history's there.
I think he was so young, and he was enjoying his life, and he didn't want anybody to tell him, you need to be working out, and helping your body, and not
Right.
be killing it with.
Well, he's got a family now too.
Yes.
But besides the crash that he did a couple of years ago
Yes.
or whatever, that was scary.
But he still goes to North Wilkesboro, which he took his own money and helped get that track back
Right.
up.
It's
and he goes
pretty
there and
amazing.
races.
I mean, you got Tony Stewart. What's he open Eldora?
Yes, Eldora Speedway.
Eldora.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a lot for the sport. I know the older drivers did in their day, but it's pretty good to see the young drivers kick back
Oh yeah,
and give some money to the sport.
exactly.
Now, two things I've noticed, and you mentioned this a while ago, is we used to go in the pits. We used to be able to, fans or whatever. And now it's like there's a fence. Unless you've got a press pass or you're one of the family, you don't get in the garage.
But it's because there's so much meanness in the world nowadays. All it would take is somebody to walk by a car and drop a sugar,
So you're
a cube
human,
of sugar in somebody's gas tank,
Or it's
and ruin a
corporate.
$250,000 car, or cause a bad wreck because your engine quit all of a sudden.
Right. It's
So you kind of
and
understand.
I understand that, but like I said, I'm trying to get Gordon's signature, so it's been awfully hard on me.
Makes a world of difference, don't it?
I will fly to Charlotte, spend a half hour, because I've got a song that, remember Sylvia, the singer? Sylvia Hutton, she sang Matador or El something back in the 80s. She was kind of popular. But she and Richard Courtney and someone else, Richard Courtney's a real estate guy, but he was in the book publishing for a while. And they wrote a song, not necessarily for me, but they knew I was a Gordon fan, and it's called Talladega Moon. I want to give him a copy of that, because
Oh,
it was
wow.
written basically about him. And it's a great song, it's an absolutely great song.
How about that?
But I want to do that and get the signature, and I'll leave. I mean, give me a half hour. I'll fly back to Nashville. I don't
heard
have to
that.
stay long. It's not that expensive. So, but this is amazing.
Even
Absolutely.
got some games, Monopoly and
Oh, cool.
Pictionary.
That's awesome.
The kids opened a Monopoly one time, and I didn't know it. I about had a fit when I found it out.
I understand. So, what do you think about the prices have gotten so high?
It's almost ridiculous, and like we said, NASCAR is a multi-billion-dollar industry, but if you don't have millions of dollars, you can't race.
Right,
And that's the sad
exactly.
part. This started out as a redneck sport. You run
Moonshiny.
what you run, and if you got caught cheating, you got caught. But if you didn't get caught, you could run
You
faster
could win.
every week.
Exactly.
Richard Petty will tell you the same thing.
Oh, exactly. And Junior Johnson.
Exactly.
And back in the day, fighting was Bobby Allison and Kelly Yarborough, I think
Get
it
out
was
of the
on
car
the
and beat you with his helmet.
Exactly. That was the thing. And I guess it's good that they're not, but that was part of the thrill to
It
see
was,
the
and people
aggression
love that
and
kind of stuff.
They did.
love seeing the
They
wrecks.
did. I think that's part of the reason they started putting them on TV.
You know, the idea of getting in a car and doing 199 miles an hour, 2 or 3 inches from somebody's back bumper, that amazes me. And you can't tell me that's not a sportsman.
Right.
If he can do that,
Well, you can't draft like you used to be able to either.
no.
And I do like the roof flaps.
Yes.
That's a good idea, but I think too many people barrel roll, and that's been bad.
That's been tough.
But
on the race
they
car
are
drivers.
good. It's a good addition. But a lot of the rules that NASCAR's instituted in the last 10 years have not worked. And now I saw Junior. He's got a radio show or a podcast or something, and he was talking about EVs, electric cars. and he doesn't like the fact that NASCAR is pushing an electric car.
Oh my word, I can't even imagine.
How are they going to get around the track? They're going to have to change batteries. It's only a 600-mile car, and that's a
You can
high
imagine
dollar.
that a wreck, and you have to call 14 fire trucks to put the fire out on
Yeah, with foam.
those batteries.
I mean, those things, that's kind of scary.
And I've heard that after 2025, or starting in 2025, NASCAR is going to go pay-per-view. I'm sorry, but you're going to lose me.
Yeah. Well, it's I was a big fan, I should say, back in the day where they were all on TV. They were on network TV.
Right.
And now half of them are on Fox.
Yep.
And that's great because we have Fox. But if you don't have Fox,
You don't get to watch the race.
no. And that's, again, I think they're getting too big for their britches, and they have been in a few years. And I guess that's what Junior was alluding to, that they're not remembering that it was the common man.
They don't remember where they started from.
And that's sad.
It is.
That's
really
really
is.
sad. But
And
I am just
maybe I've
impressed.
waited too late to try to sell this, but I had posters after posters underneath beds where they would stay,
Mm-hmm.
in good shape. And I started pulling all this stuff out of drawers and things that I'd put away. And even Martha said, "Where did you have all of this?" Just here and there in the crooks and the corners.
Right. And who did the drawings? Is that Sam Bass?
I don't know. Somebody gave these to me. Atkins, that
Dale Atkins?
Dale Jarrett.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Dale, I guess Dale Atkins, is that his name?
It looks like something Addison.
Dale Oldham? I don't know.
Sure.
Well,
Sam
it
Bass
says
was a
Dale
great.
Atkins,
Oh, okay.
ATL.
Sam Bass was amazing.
Oh,
He
yes.
did. There was I guess it was a Dale Earnhardt Museum in Charlotte, and he had all this work there. It was nice, all his Earnhardt work.
I wanted everybody to kill Kyle Busch when he came here and won in Nashville, and then took that
Guitar.
Sam Bass guitar and broke it into
Yes.
pieces. What an idiot.
Oh, my husband never used to like him, and now he's gotten to be a fan. But
Really?
after Earnhardt died, he kind of bounced around as far as who was a fan of. Now it's Martin Truex.
I like Martin. My best guy right now is Alex Bowman, or anybody on the Hendricks team. But Alex is number one, and there's not many that I don't like. But I didn't like Kevin Harvick. I don't like. Who were we just talking about? I don't like him, Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart.
First time I ever saw him race, I said that guy's going to be great.
Right.
And then he opened his mouth, ruined it all.
There's a lot of drivers that open their mouth.
Yeah.
And I guess that's versus beating each other up, but
This is older as the hills.
oh wow.
The Gatorade 88.
Oh, it's like a press pass or a press packet.
Yeah, that was when I got to Daytona. I wish I knew where that picture is.
And that was for the Rutherford Courier.
Yes.
That's funny. Well, Terrell started the racing paper. I saw him out on turn 3 of the racetrack, and I was doing press for, I don't know, Late Model Digest or something. And I said, who are you with? And he told me. And he says, I'm based in Smyrna. And I told him, I said, I'm based in Laverne. And we started talking, and the June of 95, I guess, I started working for the Reporter and the racing paper, Middle Tennessee Racing News. And then I eventually went to the Courier.
Dave,
Oh, I can't remember. I know Darrell Davis, but
I ain't believing I can't remember that.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean,
Is he still alive?
who, Terrell?
Terrell Davis.
Yeah, he's he's alive and kicking.
Has he still got something to do with the paper?
He's still the publisher editor. Yeah.
I didn't loan him. I gave that man $2,000
I'll cut this out.
to help him get going. And
Yeah, I know. Trust me,
me and another lady.
I spent years, and I guess that was sort of when he had his parting with what's his face, Bob Spivey. That was a whole mess. But I spent years trying to get him to go online, and every year, we're going to do it. I got someone lined up. Nothing. I don't think he's still online, and that's sad. That's really sad because it has a great future, or it did, and I think it still does. But I used to write for him. I wrote for him through about 2002.
He was the one that got me the pit pass to go down to Daytona and see Darrell that day, and then him blow after 50 laps. I was so disappointed, but when I got the autograph for Tim Richmond, I thought,
Right.
well, it was worth it.
It was worth it,
after all.
right? Yeah, that Tim Richmond autograph's pretty important. But yeah, I like I said, Terrell's a good guy. He's just doing his thing, and I I wrote for him. I went to, when I worked for Laverne. I did not write for him after a couple of years, and then he had me write some more after left Laverne, and I don't know. I just got burnt out because it was like he wanted me to do driver stories, but I'm gonna put this on you again. Every issue, every story was, my grandfather raced. I grew up in racing. Blah blah blah. I need sponsors, and here's my crew members' names. Yeah. I could have just written the same story and filled in the blanks, and they got boring. I would ask them, what are your hobbies, racing, and I got burnt out on that. I was
Does
like, come on,
he still
guy.
do the paper?
Yeah. Well, not the reporter. The reporter's been going for years.
No, I mean the Middle Tennessee
Yes.
Racing News or
Yes,
something?
he still does that. And like I said, he's not online. Not that I know. He may have gotten online this year, but it would have been great to have him do it years ago.
Does he sell them at the racetrack or something?
I have no clue. I haven't been to races since 2000, maybe.
I went 2 years ago. Somebody contacted Parkway Baptist and wanted to know if we had 8 people that could help with the seating for the SRX race. And so we did. We went over there and watched that race and seated people, and we had a great time. But I didn't see him anywhere.
Well, I don't know about the plans to eliminate the fairgrounds. That's bad. I mean, I know these people are moving in, and then they're complaining about the track. Well, the track's been there since 1908.
That's right. The track was there first.
And
they promised that they were going to let the track stay there, and Brute and Smith and them was going to do $50 million
that
worth
would
of
be
upgrades.
And incredible.
And then somebody turned around and reneged on their
Nah,
promise.
I think that was Freddie O'Connell, the mayor, his pushing the fair board. So that's.
And why do we need a fair board? We don't even have a fair anymore. Don't get me started.
But
on
Wilson
that.
County's is a great fair. I don't know if you've ever been out
Wilson?
there.
Oh yeah, we've heard about it. We've never been. One of
It's
these days we'll
big,
go.
but that's a nice fairground out there. They got room. They got a lot more room. But they have something at the fairgrounds still.
Yeah.
It's the Tennessee or the Nashville State Fair or
It
something.
used to be the state fair. Was
Right.
there.
But they've got a new fair out there, but it's just rides and stuff, concessions.
You ever rode the old wooden roller coaster?
No, it's before my time.
Oh,
Yeah, I've heard about it though. Now I've seen pictures, but
that was neat.
yeah, it's amazing. Well, I am so impressed with your collection. I had no clue over the years until they told me about it at work, and I was like, wow. So this is amazing. Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so. I'm still a fan. I've watched the race every Sunday or Saturday night whenever it comes on, and I guess I will be until I have to pay for it. And they may lose me then. I might pay for it, but I don't know.
Hey, I do have to ask you, do you listen to the cruise on the phone?
No,
I think
I've never done that.
NASCAR. My husband does. NASCAR.com. It's like $35 a year, maybe, and you can they tune you in. You can pick the driver, and just like you're at the racetrack with the headphones on. You don't
Like
have
for
to,
the spotters and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I had never done that.
yeah. It's worth it. It's worth it to my husband. Like I said, I'm kind of over it all. So I
I
just
love Dale Jr.'s download
Oh yes,
that he did, and then all of a sudden that went Spotify or something.
I know
something
Spotify.
don't have, so-
Spotify's yeah. It's a good channel though if you decide to get it. But yeah, things move on. Unfortunately, well, you have everything. This is amazing.
There's Bonnet when he got killed at
Right.
Daytona.
I remember that. World's largest super speedway plant south of Shelbyville. I haven't seen that.
happened.
Yeah, I haven't seen that happen. Wow.
That was going to be something else.
Yeah. At least there's a super speedway here and there's a cup race. For years, people would tell me, I wish NASCAR would come out there. I was like, NASCAR is out there.
Really?
It's just not cup. There's
Yeah.
there's a difference. So it was frustrating. I don't know why I even cared, but I did. It used to make me mad.
Well, I'm so glad they're doing the cup now.
I know it helps, and my husband loves it.
We're really looking forward to going.
I love all your stuff. Wow. Now, do you keep this laid out, or do you just do it for me?
No, it's been laid out like this for over a year. Wow. We had a pool table and an air hockey up here for the grandkids, and we took it all down. Just left it empty for a couple of years, and then I got the itching wanting to sell my NASCAR stuff, and I laid it all out in here. Had no idea how much I had.
Right.
And when I got it all laid out, it took the whole room up.
So your grandkids wouldn't want any of this? They have any interest?
I doubt it. Or they would piecemeal it. They'd want this and want that, but
Right.
nobody wants all of it. And it's a package deal.
That's a lot.
If I got to get rid of it to be able to move, I got to get rid of all of it.
Right.
I can't get rid of just the models. I can't get rid of just the posters. It's all got to go. And I hate to lose it after, spending all these years collecting it.
Right.
But
Yeah, things change.
it's served its time.
Right. I understand. I definitely understand. This is remarkable. This is an absolutely remarkable collection. I just keep seeing new things every time I look around the room. So, wow.
There's some of the autograph pictures up there, I think, of Daryl.
Yeah, I'm not going to walk through there.
Oh, it's easy. You just come down through here. Like this.
I trip too easily.
There's Terry Labonte and the old Piedmont Airlines.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Nice.
Michael Walter. There's Dale with his 93 Winston Cup Championship. Sterling Marlin.
These are autographs?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, yes, it is.
It is.
Yes.
Hold that up. Let me see that. Nice. Awesome. Did you ever get Chocolate Myers autograph? Did you ever meet him?
No.
He was fun.
This is just
Or he is
Steve
fun.
Romy and Kurt somebody, but Dale didn't sign it.
Oh, well. I'm sure if you still wanted to collect, you could get more.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's pretty cheap now because no
Had a
one's
lady
one.
give me a tote box full of the cars.
Yeah.
I said, let me pay you something for it. No, I don't want anything for it. I've had it so long now, I want to get rid of it. I said, I'll take it off your hands.
Right.
I made that rug,
Oh, really?
the NASCAR rug,
What is it, like needlepoint type thing? Or
latch hook,
that's it.
yeah.
Wow.
Those two, Darrell Walker, the clock and the paint, picture is autographed by him.
My husband has a Mac Tools wrench set that was Dale Earnhardt.
Really?
And he's got something else Dale Earnhardt Mac Tools set.
Wow.
Yeah, he spent some money too on his stuff. And it's all, I have a steak knife set. I saw it on Facebook or something. I Marketplace maybe. And I said, this is cool. It's made like a piston, the wood is, and the steak knives look like a wrench. They've got a circle on the end like a wrench would have.
How about that?
And they're really nice knives. And I could get them online for like $80. And I swear to you, he bought them straight from Snap-on. I'm like, eee. Yeah, he kept getting gifts when he would buy things. They're not really gifts, but you spend so much and you get a hat or killed me. But this is just amazing, Walter. And I had no clue.
I've seen it.
I had no clue I've known you for years.
Didn't know I was a race fan.
I didn't. I just knew you from around.
I went every chance I got. A lot of times I couldn't afford to go.
Right.
Uh,
Especially now. Except for the local race, tickets are still reasonable, but I got my husband's the first time for, like $60.
really?
And like I said, it was like day one of the sale when they announced Cup.
Yeah.
And they were selling last year, day of, for $300 and something for those seats.
I paid $433 for 2 tickets for this year's race.
Yeah, Wes always gets 2 and he takes a good friend of his, so. But yeah, wow.
But that's what you got to do if you want to see the race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's in person. It's wild. If you ever hear those cars, we went to Talladega one time and got there a little bit late. And as we're starting up the steps on the first 3 or 4 steps, the cars came by. And those rubber pellets were just beating us to death.
I bet.
That was the most amazing thing to make you think that the rubber comes off them
Exactly.
tires like that.
Exactly. Well, you can't walk under the tunnel, or you can't walk the tunnel under the racetrack at Talladega during a race, which I never understood. It's there, cars can go back and forth.
Really?
But I got yelled at by security.
Really?
So I just
I
sat
didn't
down.
know that. I never heard that.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, all right, and that's the year I was getting so sick from wearing all that black.
Huh.
I learned my lesson, so wow. Well, let me get some pictures. I got a lot of good
Sure.